won over Zimbabwe Schwartz. That's it for this edition of American Gladiators. Here's a preview of some of the action you'll be seeing next week.
Next week, 4 new contenders chosen from around the country test their personal... From Universal Studios, Hollywood. This is American Gladiators. Selected from a nationwide search, 22 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for a single honor, to become American Gladiators champion. Now here are your American Gladiators: Nitro, Lace, Blaze, Gemini, Titan, Zap, Gold, and Laser. Your American Gladiators. The host for American Gladiators, Mike Adamle, and his co-host, Todd Christensen.
Glad you could join us for this second edition of American Gladiators, and once again we have selected some outstanding contenders from around the country. Todd, they bring with them some fairly impressive athletic credentials, but I don't think our Gladiators have spent too much time reading the contenders' press clippings.
Well, you might be right, but I'll tell you this, they're not too afraid of the Gladiators either. They're competitive, they want to win, and it's going to be terrific.
It is going to be terrific, and right now let's meet today's contenders for the preliminary round.
In the women's preliminary, please welcome Cheryl Ann Silich from Indianapolis, the Executive Director for the Indiana Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And her opponent, Christine Lakatos from San Luis Obispo, California, a prep school student activities director. In the men's competition, please welcome Eric Sutton of Warren, Michigan, a florist manager and business major. And his opponent, John Cueva from Chicago, a commodities broker.
Contenders, best of luck. Knock them dead. You're going to need all the luck you can get. And Todd, I'll see you in the combat arena.
All right.
This is how our show works in case you haven't seen it before. 20 men and women, our contenders, will compete in 7 very different events. The contenders who amass the most points after those 7 confrontations will advance to the next round. Now, their ultimate goal, to make the championship final, and at the end of that rainbow, a pot of gold. $10,000 in prize money, and the title, Grand Champion.
The first event for the women will be the wall. Both women will attempt to scale it, and the first one to the top of the 32-foot edifice will receive 10 points. Second place will receive 5 points, but it won't be quite that easy. There will be a 10-second head start, after which the Gladiators will follow them up in an attempt to pull them off. If that is accomplished, of course, they will receive no points. First up for the women is Christine Lakatos, whose hometown is San Luis Obispo, and in addition to being a student activities director, she is also a part-time personal trainer. She will be followed up the wall by Blaze.
And Christine's preliminary round opponent, Cheryl Ann Silich, a 25-year-old native of Indianapolis, Indiana. Both Cheryl Ann and Christine outstanding athletes, both avid bodybuilders. And Cheryl Ann draws Lace. Lace will follow her up the wall.
Mike, both these women, I don't know how much bodybuilding has to do with climbing the mountain, but they certainly look fit enough to make it up.
Both contenders given a 10-second head start. Christine in the blue, Cheryl Ann in the red.
And here come the Gladiators. Right off the bat, it looks like Lace has a good shot at getting Cheryl Ann. Cheryl Ann was having a difficult time getting started. Just missed there.
Christine having her problems at the left of your screen, and there she goes. The hand strength gave way. Blaze also fell.
It looks to me like it's inevitable that Lace would get... Oh! Right there, it looked like she had her by the ankle, but Cheryl Ann was able to get out of it.
Remember, the contenders have 2 minutes to reach the top, so Cheryl Ann now also working against the clock.
And you know, Mike, that's definitely a consideration because I'm sure that Cheryl is aware that lace has fallen off, and right now she's really taking her time. She's being very careful not to fall off.
Well, at this point, she doesn't want to waste what has been a very good effort.
Well, certainly she secured herself 5 points, but I know that she wants the 10 if she can get it. And she's nearing the top right now, and you can see those fingers taped. This really causes some stress on both the toes and the fingers in this event.
A 2-minute test of anaerobic strength, and Cheryl Ann Zilic has made it to the top. Quite a feeling. She did it in 1 minute and 13 seconds, so she did have some room to spare. Christine looked very good early on, but again, that strength gave way, and there she went. And here's how close Lace came to pulling Cheryl Ann Zilic off the wall.
About halfway up, it appeared, Lace, that you had her, and then all of a sudden you lost your grip.
Well, I did have her, but I had to take one hand off to try and get her. I almost got her by one of her feet there, and she kept evading me a little bit, but, well, there's always next time, isn't there?
There's a long ways to go, you're right. Cheryl, you were the beneficiary of her falling off the mountain. I noticed that when you saw her fall off, it's like you took your time. You weren't going to take any chances about making it to the top.
Well, you got to climb a lot of mountains in this world to get to the top, and hopefully that's one step to my victory with a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work.
So with the 10 points that Cheryl Ann earns from completing the wall in fine fashion, she takes the early lead over Christine Lakatos. Coming up, the joust and Powerball. But up next, the men will take to the wall when we return on American Gladiators. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood as the men get ready for their first event, the wall. Eric Sutton will be going at it in this preliminary round. He's 21 years old, a resident of Warren, Michigan. Was actually a contender on the first go-round of American Gladiators, but injured himself in a practice round. But he's come back here today. And doing the honors for the Gladiators, Laser. The mountain man from Montana is mighty tough in this event.
And Eric will be competing against John Cueva, a commodities broker who is a one-time Gold Gloves boxer. He is also a bodybuilder, not to mention a black belt in Taekwondo. John will be followed by the gargantuan Titan. And here we get a chance to look up the mountain from Titan's helmet cam, and that is one big follower there, Mike.
And unlike the women's event, the men contenders in the wall will be given a 15-second head start. Eric Sutton in the red, John Cueva in the blue.
Both are off to kind of a slow start. They're both kind of tentative trying to get up the wall here. They're probably going to need that 15 seconds head start. John especially is having some problems.
Titan goes up after him. Laser chases after Eric Sutton. And look at Laser go. Already he's on Eric Sutton's heel. Titan, however, has got John Cueva, and Cueva is the first to go. Sutton presses on.
Just shows the strength of the man there, Mike. With one hand, he's able to pull him off, as does Laser. Both of them one-handed him.
The old gotcha.
They did indeed. Look at Titan. He's ecstatic because this is obviously not his best event. But there's that big, strong right arm reaching up, and it's going to get a chance to hook on to the ankle of John Cueva. We're viewing it from the helmet cam. Look at that 22-inch bicep. Holy cow.
It's like a vice grip when it grabs hold of your ankle, and there goes John Cueva.
Pulls him right off.
Ditto for Eric Sutton. Watch Laser here. He gets his grip first, and with his right hand, he'll reach out. Bang.
Since both contenders were pulled from the wall, it's the one who gets to the highest who will get 5 points. In this case, clearly it is Eric.
And Eric takes a 5-0 lead after one event. In the women's preliminary round between Cheryl Ann Zilic and Christine Lakatos, Cheryl Ann has a 10-0 lead. Here's Todd to set the next event.
You know, I can't think of a game that combines the skills of football and basketball, except for one, right here on American Gladiators, Powerball. 45 seconds of pure mayhem, which requires the skill of strength, agility, and quickness. With these balls, you try to score as many points as possible within the allowable 45-second time limit. From one end to one end is where the contenders must score. And make the moves here, kind of come to the side, kind of an O.J. Simpson thing. Oh, come on, come on, come on. All right, here. Over here where it's one, over here where it's one. All on the outside, you score 1 point. If you're tough enough to get to the middle and quick enough, you can get 2 points. But let me tell you something right now. It ain't that easy, because there are going to be 3, count them 3, American Gladiators trying to stop our contenders.
All right, ladies, you'll hear ready, and then the whistle.
We hear the voice of referee Bob McElwee getting the contest underway, and right off the bat, Christine scores while Cheryl Ann takes a tumble into the wall.
Tries to get back against Blaze, but Blaze does an outstanding job of keeping her away from the cylinder.
A couple of forearm shivers there, Mike, but Cheryl Ann persists and gets one in the middle.
Christine Lakatos trying to make her way past Zapp. Nothing doing there, about 4 moves too many.
Now the whistle blows. There must be an infraction.
I got a point for blue over here on the tackle. Pick it up.
The rules of Powerball prohibit tackling, so Christine Lakatos wins the point.
And right off, the beneficiary of it becomes Cheryl Ann, who sneaks one in.
She also got a much-needed breather. Clock winding down now. Both contenders out of gas, and that's it. We've got a 4-4 tie.
For the energy expended, I'm sure both women are saying to themselves, I don't know if 4 points was worth it. I should have got a little bit more than that. Here we see a bit of a lame call on Zapp as she prevents Christine from going to the cylinder, but they call it a tackle and she's awarded a point. On the other hand, we see Blaze coming up top high to the head, knocking Christine out of bounds, but no penalty was called. From the overhead cam, we get a chance to see Cheryl Ann double-teamed while Christine sneaks in for a point.
And the 4-4 tie enables Christine to get on the scoreboard, but after 2 events, Cheryl Ann still has a 10-point lead. And now the men are ready to go. Eric Sutton 5-0 over Jean Cueva as they get set to go in Powerball.
And as both men focus on the competition ahead, we get a chance to look at the 3 gladiators that they will be going against: Laser, Gemini, and Nitro. And these 3 gentlemen take up a lot of room out there on the Powerball surface.
Ready?
Referee Bob McElwee starts the event. The Gladiators are always intense for every event, but they seem to turn it up a notch for Powerball.
Well, they're aspiring football players. A couple of them had stints in the pro game, and they think of themselves as tough guys, and they want to assert themselves here.
Eric Sutton really gets worked over there. And watch John Cueva. He's trying to jam the ball in there. Laser works him over from behind, and then the late shot from Gemini.
Obviously, this game's being refereed a little bit differently than the women's game.
I got 1 point red right here on the tackle.
I think there's very little doubt that Nitro went up top, but it doesn't seem to bother him much as he gets congratulated by the other gladiators.
15 seconds remain, but the Gladiators haven't let up at all in their intensity. Eric Sutton taking a tremendous pounding from Gemini.
It looks like all 3 of them got up on the wrong side of the bed. And Bob McElwee is going to call another infraction, but it's quite obvious that the Gladiators don't care. They've got that Houston Oiler mentality, Mike. They're willing to take penalties.
And Todd, I like the Oiler analogy because this Powerball playing surface has resembled a house of pain. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is it, but not before Eric Sutton is slammed to the turf. Nitro, you can let up now. A 1-1 tie.
Right here we get a chance to see John Cueva trying to get the ball in, but he's on his knees, so he's not going to score. But evidently Laser doesn't know that as he continues to punch. Right here we get a chance to see Nitro going up top, a clear infraction of the rules, but Nitro obviously doesn't care. And here a little added insult to injury as Nitro drives John Cueva down and to his backside.
And Gemini puts a little extra mustard on Eric Sutton. He hits him high, gets a little help from Nitro, and follows through on his tackle, and Eric Sutton is driven to the ground.
Now Eric gets to find out what a gladiator sandwich is about, courtesy of Gemini and Laser. Powerball isn't always meant to be fun.
Eric Sutton and John Cueva clad in red and blue today, but tomorrow they'll be black and blue, a 1-1 tie for all that work. So after 2 events, Eric Sutton has a 6-1 lead. The joust is still to come on American Gladiators, but coming up next, it's our game called Assault. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood with more of the American Gladiators. And after 2 events, Cheryl Ann Zilich still has a 10-point lead over Christine Lakatos. Here's Todd to set up our next event, Assault.
This is the viewpoint that the contenders will have in Assault, and this is where they begin to have 60 seconds in which to hit a target placed above the gladiator using a variety of weapons. At safe zone number 1, it offers a crossbow, and if the contender misses here, they then travel to safe zone number 2 to take a shot with the rocket launcher. A trip to the 3rd safe zone is where a contender will find a cannon. While a contender is moving closer, they will find a pistol at safe zone number 4, and if all else fails, a final attempt can be made at the final safe zone with 3 hand grenades.
And while the contenders are taking aim at the Gladiators, in this case gold, will be shooting tennis balls which travel in excess of 100 miles an hour. Cheryl Ann, very powerfully built, but she's very quick as well. She'll need it in this event.
Very athletic and very quick with the crossbow, Mike, and she got that one off quickly. She heads now to the rocket launcher.
Not too much time to think. You can see the clock in the right-hand corner of your screen. Cheryl Ann misses with the rocket launcher. Again, she has 60 seconds to hit that target above the Gladiator.
But you have to like the way she's competing here, Mike, because she's taking a little bit of aim, but she's hurrying. Just misses with the basketball. Cameraman pays the price.
Trying to set herself there. No dice. And now she's in at close range.
Oh, man. That's a weak arm there, partner. What a rag arm. Terrible grenade throwing. But at this point, it doesn't matter much to her. She dives across the finish line with a flash of melodrama. So she will get the draw, and she does get 4 points in this event. Here we get a chance to see her rocket launch was just a little bit high. But as she hustles over with the basketball, you can see she just misses getting 7 points as she nails the cameraman. Ouch! How's that feel up there?
As Bob Uecker said in Major League, just a bit outside. You had a couple of great shots up there, though.
Hey, point and aim, you got 60 seconds. I didn't even really try to aim.
You did earn 4 points for the draw because you made it across the finish line, a little bit out of breath, but they don't penalize you anything for that. Your technique, your strategy out there.
Stay low. Stay low and roll around, roll around a lot.
All right, we're gonna work a little bit with you, Todd and I. We're gonna send you to quarterback school and work on your hand grenade.
I'm ready, let's go.
Okay.
Well, Mike, despite her weak wings, she was able to get 4 points in this particular event. And now that puts the pressure as we get a chance to look at gold on Christine, because now she trails by some 14 points. She needs to get a chance to hit that target, get 7 or 10 in this event. Just missed there, gold there.
Couple of hippity hops, and she's in position to fire her first shot, which is way off the mark. Setting herself with the rocket.
Holy cow!
And it was hit us!
Oh, look out! You know, Mike, that's my fault right there. I should have never said that she looks a little bit heavy in blue.
I'll tell you, Todd, one of the mistakes that Christine may be making is she takes her eyes off of gold when she moves from safe zone to safe zone.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's one of the things that you have to look as to when they're shooting, and that gives you a chance to maneuver out of the way.
Less than 20 seconds now.
Looks a little unsure with that pistol, as witnessed by the shot. She's going to have to hustle here. See what kind of arm she has with the grenades. Oh, my gosh, the underhand toss. Aren't there any Nolan Ryans out there? What's the deal? Here she hustles now. 5, 4, 3. Oh, here's that she makes it across. Looks like she might have got hit there. I don't know. We'll have to check the replay.
May have been hit during that course. The object of this game is to hit the Gladiator. You almost hit me with the rocket launcher. Then it was the grenade. Who taught you about aiming?
I went to the police academy. I didn't do very well in shooting.
You went to the police academy?
Yeah, I didn't do very well in shooting, though.
You're going to have to take a refresher
I
course.
got 85 in firearms.
Let's hope that the draw holds up. If that's the case, you earn 4 points. But please, for my sake, go back to school. And take this with you, will you? All right, Christine.
A little bit of a debate here as to whether or not that Christine got hit right here in the right leg. From this angle, we can't quite see it, but in a second look, we can see it hits her right in the left calf. So Christine is not going to get a draw. In fact, Cheryl will win this event with 4 points. And so the score now after 3 events is Cheryl 18 and Christine 4. On the men's side now after 2 events, Eric leads by a 6-1 count over Jean Cueva.
And doing the honors for the Gladiators is Nitro. Eric Sutton up first in this preliminary round between him and John Cueva.
Nitro shooting. Oh, it looks like he got him. Right off the bat. Can you believe it? 4 seconds and Nitro got his man.
You've waited almost 8 months for your chance to compete on American Gladiators. A lot of people don't realize that you were one of our original contenders and you got hurt in a practice session. And now you've come out here in the assault. You get hit in the head in about 3 seconds. And it's got to be a little bit discouraging, Eric.
Yeah, well, my plan at the beginning was just keep my eye on the ball, and I went down for the dive, and my head went down, and I didn't see the ball, and smack.
Better luck next time. All right, Eric.
Well, while Eric is taking a header, this is Jean's opportunity to get back. And look at Nitro enjoying the spoils of victory. In fact, Nitro is yet to lose in this particular event. Jean Cueva focusing on the event at hand, has a formidable task in front of him.
Todd, I don't know. He may have gotten hit right off the bat.
Looked awfully close. 4 seconds, and Nitro got his man. 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 4 seconds, and
Nitro is deadly with that cannon.
Jean cuts across there. He needs some help here with only 1 point so far in the event. He really needs to score.
Not a bad shot, but not good enough. He moves on to the next safe zone. Clock winding down.
He didn't aim there. He might be just content to get 4 points if he can.
Contender has to be careful not to expose too much of his body when he does shoot from behind those safe areas. John Cueva now working in close. 10 seconds to go.
Come on, let's see one good arm.
Nitro is saying, hey, I hit him. I hit him.
Come on, Nitro, finish the thing. Let him hustle across. Let the replays dictate it. Let modern technology take over. Well, I'll be the first to say that in football, modern technology stinks. Instant replay's no good, but it works here. Sure enough, Nitro got his man.
John, as they say in the National Football League, upon further review, it was shown that you were indeed hit.
Yeah, Nitro's gotten a lot better this game, and I felt a breeze above my head, and I think it got me right on top of the head.
You did something that I think may prove valuable in future assault contests, and that is you didn't hit the target, but you did manage to hit Nitro in that protective shield that he has, and it disrupted his flow up there.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to aim for the target. You know, if I hit Nitro, it's just, I guess, a lucky hit.
Okay, better luck next time around.
Thanks, man.
So, I mean, this is kind of unofficial, but it appears to me that you're batting about 750.
I think I'm batting about 1,000, Todd. I know you had a lot of catches in the NFL, but when you hit everybody, it's 1,000, not 750.
You know, this must be the Pete Rose of the Gladiators. He keeps track of his own statistics, this guy right here. But he's doing good. Nice job.
Thanks, Todd.
All right.
And Nitro, after wielding his lethal weapon, goes 2 for 2. He pitches a shutout against the Contenders, so the score remains the same after 3 events, 6-1. Now, after 3 events in the women's competition, Cheryl Ann with a healthy lead over Christine Lakatos as they get set now for the human cannonball.
The object in human cannonball is quite simple. That is for the Contenders to knock the Gladiators from their pedestal and receive 3 points. They'll get 3 tries, and if they're able to get all 3, they would receive a bonus of 1 for 10 points. Here we get a chance to look from Cheryl Ann's helmet cam, and this is what the Contenders have to look at in their swing in an attempt to knock off the Gladiators.
Christine in the blue, Cheryl Ann in the red. They'll be going against Lace and Gold.
This is a must event for Christine. She's down by 14 points. It would be imperative for her to make up some ground here and knock off a Gladiator or 2.
And this is the one event where the Contender has all the advantage. Here they come. Cheryl Ann with the big swing. Here comes Christine. Down goes Lace. Down goes Gold.
That was awfully close. You can see that Gold is a little bit disappointed. She hung in there right to the last. Here Christine bunches up, and Gold looks like she's got it right there on the edge, but she just can't quite keep her balance, and she's knocked off. Fortunate for Christine. Christine very pleased with herself, chuckling a little bit, as is Cheryl Ann. Both very happy about the fact they will knock people off. But here, Zap is going to be waiting along with Lace for their second round.
2, 1.
Those smiles now replaced by faces of determination. Here they come on their second attempt. Cheryl Ann really knocks Zap off the pedestal. Lace manages to stay on top.
I'm very surprised at that because Zap is usually tough. Right here we get a chance to see Lace, who was able to deflect just a little bit and like a flamingo hang up there on that one leg. Here we get a chance to view from Cheryl Ann's helmet cam as she blasts Zap. Oh my goodness, how much fun can that be? How'd you like to be behind that pad?
No way would I like to be on the receiving end of that shot by Cheryl Ann.
And now there's a little bit of a caucus amongst the Gladiators trying to talk amongst themselves how they're going to be able to stay up on the pedestal. Zap trying to psych herself up, as is Gold, prepared now for round number 3.
2,
Cheryl has a chance to go 3 for 3, thus earning the 1-point bonus. Here she comes, and she sends Gold to the mat while Zap remains on top of the pedestal. Christine Lakatos gave it all she got, but her momentum not good enough, not strong enough to knock Zap off the pedestal.
And Zap, very happy with herself, accepts a congratulatory hug from Lace. So in the human cannonball, Cheryl was able to get 10 points, while Christine only able to muster 3. So the score after 4 events has Cheryl with a commanding 28-7 lead over Christine Lakatos. Still to come on the American Gladiators, break through and conquer. And a little bit later, we'll have the joust. But the men take their swing on the human cannonball when we return.
to Universal Studios Hollywood as we get set for the men's fourth event, the Human Cannonball. In a low-scoring affair so far, Eric Sutton 6-1 over John Cueva.
We get a look here at John Cueva, and he needs some points, obviously, as does Eric Sutton.
Again, each contender given 3 swings at the 2 Gladiators. In this case, Titan and Laser. Eric Sutton in the red working against Laser. He sends him flying, but Titan stays tough up there. He doesn't budge for John Cueva.
John tries to make himself compact, but it's not enough to knock off the mighty Titan.
Titan, considering your body weight, and for a man who has it's a major struggle just to get up there on that pedestal, that had to be a major victory for you.
Yes, it was, Mike. The Human Cannonball is a game where the edge is given to the contender because of where he's coming from. But it's a strategic game also, and we as Gladiators have learned that, and we shall keep going on.
And maybe we ought to change his name from Titan to Prudential. You're like hitting a piece of the rock, pal.
Terrific analogy, Mike. Now as we head to the second part of the event, and now Gemini will be heading up on top of the pedestal next to that piece of the rock, Titan.
John Cueva on the left working against Gemini. Gets the job done as Gemini goes down, but so does Titan. Something of a surprise. The secret to Eric Sutton's success, watch here, a cross body block. Not even Titan's hands could help him there.
John, the situation right now is that as the score is 12-4, this is a chance for you to make up some ground. Have you got any strategy?
Not really. I'm just going to try to hit him as hard as I can.
Okay, with some of your martial arts background, is this a situation where maybe you can focus your chi in one particular spot and knock him off?
Try to hit him in the center of gravity is what I'm going to try to do.
Okay, we'll see. Good luck.
Well, John goes against Laser. Eric Sutton will draw Gemini this time around. For Eric, a chance for the hat trick. Boy, that wasn't even a contest, and Laser stays aboard.
Well, Laser has a terrific center of gravity. Here John tries to get him, but he's braced right at the back. Look at his leg. Pushes him off, victorious. Get a view now from the helmet cam of Jean. There he is, upright. Laser a little bit too tough this time around.
So both Laser and Eric Sutton have reason to celebrate after the Human Cannonball. Laser takes a free spin down to the mat as Eric wins 10 points, gets all 3 Gladiators, John just 3, and after 4 events, Eric Sutton 16-4 over John Cueva. And for the women after 4 events, Cheryl Ann Zillage with the big lead. Here's Todd.
Just as the name implies, this is a 2-part event. In the first part, the contender has 15 yards in which to break through the Gladiators and score a touchdown. Whether or not a contender is successful in part 1, he must continue on to part 2, where a gladiator awaits in the conquer circle. Here, a contender has 10 seconds in which to get any part of the gladiator's body outside of a ring 14 feet in diameter. A contender victory in either one of these events is worth 5 points.
Well, needless to say, Christine Lakatos needs all the points she can score. She has not done too well so far. She gets gold in the breakthrough and zap in the conquer ring, and gold goes up high and takes her down, so no points there for Christine.
Christine needed to make a little bit of a move there, Mike. She ran right into her, and she was easy pickings for gold.
As we have seen before, zap awfully tough to move outside that conquer circle.
Yeah, this is definitely a formidable task for Christine. As long as Zap stays in the middle, she's going to win, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, she had 10 seconds to get the job done, but could not do it, so Christine Lakatos gets shut out in breakthrough and conquer. Not a good omen for things to come.
Right here we get a chance to see Christine taking on Gold. She runs right in the middle of her, almost taking herself out of the competition as Gold takes her down. Zap, very intelligent, staying in the center of the circle. No way she's going to get put out.
Cheryl at this point with a huge lead, 21 points over Christine, so anything she picks up here will definitely be gravy, but it's not going to be easy against Gold and Zap.
Let's go!
Christine hears the whistle, but she starts a little bit late. She tries to move, and there she is on her feet, but Gold wrestles her down. A little unorthodox, but I guess it counts.
Did a good job of cutting down the playing surface. Charged Cheryl Ann.
Now this will be an interesting matchup. It'll be interesting to see if Cheryl Ann can get Zap outside. Oh, it looked like she had him. Zap hung in there. Look at that. She's tough. Oh, I think she did. I think she got her foot outside the circle.
That's what referee Bob McElway indicated right there, so Cheryl Ann will pick up 5 points in breakthrough and conquer.
The rules state any part of the body outside the circle, and that's what happened. Just enough of Zap's foot.
We got 5 points for getting Zap out of the conquer ring. She was sort of like a nasty weed trying to dig her out of the ground.
She was tough. She's tougher than any guy I've ever had to wrestle for.
Todd and I were wondering, though, When are you contenders going to pull some moves on the breakthrough portion of this event? The stiff arm doesn't seem to get it.
I don't know. I wish I'd played touch football, I guess, when I was younger. I never played football before in my life, so.
Now's a good time to start.
Well, Cheryl may be no Eric Dickerson, but she does get 5 points in the breakthrough and conquer. And now, after 5 events, has a prohibitive lead of 33-7 over Christine Lacados. After 4 events, Eric leads John by a count of 16-4 as we head now to the men's version of breakthrough and conquer.
And Eric Sutton's up first. He'll be going against Nitro in the breakthrough portion of this event. And then it's on to Titan in the conquer ring. Eric Sutton was an outstanding football player back in Warren, Michigan. That experience did not help him there against Nitro as Nitro knocks him out of bounds and dislodges the ball from Eric's grasp.
He tried to get a little bit more of the field, but it wasn't to be, and now he has the ominous task of facing Titan in the center circle.
Watch Titan's footwork. Watch him use his hands to fend Eric Sutton off. This is no contest.
Plus the fact that that's just an awful lot of body to try to get outside that circle, and it wasn't to be for Eric Sutton.
Eric could have had an hour and 10 seconds, and I don't think he would have knocked Titan out.
Here we get a chance to see Eric Sutton go airborne as Titan shoves him outside and continues to stay in the center of the circle. Eric makes every attempt he can to get Titan out, but it wasn't to be. Now Jean Cueva has an opportunity to make up some ground as Eric was unable to score in either the breakthrough or conquer part of the competition, but it's not going to be an easy task as both Nitro and Titan are ready.
John, no moves, no anything. He tries to bowl Nitro over, and that's not going to get it. So no points there in breakthrough.
I don't understand that, Mike. You have to look at the body composition here, and John should have at least tried to make a move there. Now, if he's going to bowl over Titan, he's got another thing coming.
At least he's going low, and that's about the only place to attack the big man.
But there's no doubt that Titan's done some wrestling of his own. He's not going to let him have it. And there they exult. They got reason to be proud. They did it. They shut them both out.
Nitro, you guys keep talking about pitching shutouts. You just pitched one.
So far, so good. I had a slow event, and I just get pumped up, and I'm ready, and I feel sorry for the next guy.
Titan, you are deceptive as heck. You weigh 280, but you've got quick feet like a man 190 pounds.
Well, as I said earlier, Mike, if you look at me and you think I can't move, I have a surprise coming for you.
There you go, baby.
Double surprise.
Well, like him or hate him, the Gladiators did indeed shut out both John and Eric. And as a result of that, the Gladiators keep this contender matchup a low-scoring one by the count of 16-4, still in favor of Eric Sutton. The joust is up next for the contenders when we return to American Gladiators.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where the women are standing by to begin their 6th event. It's called the Joust.
If competition mano-a-mano is your style, then the joust is your cup of tea. From the days of Camelot, the self-worth of a gladiator was measured by his ability to do combat man-to-man.
And Todd, in our version of the Joust, our 20th century knights will be exchanging their lances for these pugil sticks. The object, knock your opponent off the platform. Now, there's a 30-second time limit, and there's no kicking, shoving, or pushing. Plus, your hands may never leave the pugil stick. A victory is worth 10 points, a draw worth 5. Defeat earns you a free trip to the mat below.
Well, Cheryl Ann Silich is looking pretty good at this point with a 26-point lead as she's set to compete against Blaze right here in the Joust.
All right, ladies, ready?
Referee Bob McElwee starts the match, and Blaze starts off the fireworks with the first shot, but Cheryl Ann fires back quickly and knocks Blaze off. The difference in this match, Cheryl Ann's power. Blaze manages to get the first shot in, but after that, it's Cheryl Ann with that lunge right there with the stick, and that was it.
Sure, you did really well up there. It only took about 5 seconds to dispose of Blaze. You look tough. Have you done some hand-to-hand combat before?
I haven't done anything like this before. This is incredible fun.
You've done good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
American Gladiators up close and personal. Christine, your thoughts before this confrontation with Blaze?
Well, I'm trailing in points, so hopefully I can get her knocked down.
Palms a little sweaty?
Oh, just a little.
Gladiator, Blaze, contender Christine, best of luck.
Ready?
Well, it's an understatement to say that she's behind on points because Christine really needs this one, but Blaze is not to be denied as she knocks Christine from the platform and exults. I just don't think it's Christine's day. Here we get a chance to see her on the pedestal right from the beginning. Blaze is striking the more powerful blows, catching her behind the head and knocking her off balance to her pedestal and then down to the ground. So in the joust competition, Cheryl gets 10 to Christine's goose egg. And now, after 6 events, Cheryl has a seemingly insurmountable lead by the count of 43-7. In the men's division, after 5 events, Eric Sutton leads John Cueva by a low score of 16-4 as they too now will compete in the joust.
Well, Eric's up first, Todd, and he draws Gemini. Gemini has yet to lose to a contender on American Gladiators.
Mike, evidently all that work with the Marines in the offseason has paid off in the joust. As right off the bat, Gemini gets the most powerful, right under the chin, and off Eric Sutton goes. Great shot under the chin by Gemini, and Eric could not withstand it. Here we get a chance to look at Gemini getting that shot right under the chin. His vision and balance impaired, off he goes.
Joust, a very pure form of athletic competition. If you win, you can take the credit. If you lose, no alibis. No alibis for you that time, Gemini.
None whatsoever, but the contender was pretty elusive. At first, when he made a nice duck, so I tried to come back under with a butt reverse, but fortunately I came through with the jab and he got him.
There was the danger of you losing your balance when he ducked. You took that wild swing and almost did lose your balance.
That's true. You got to come under control. If you swing out of control, you're vulnerable. But fortunately, I was able to stay up.
Well, great work by Gemini in this round of the joust, but now John Cueva has a terrific opportunity. If he's able to get 10 points in this event and knock Gemini off, he could crawl to within 2 points.
He better wake up. He forgot to answer the bell there. Gemini came right out of the box and knocked him off.
Well, maybe it's a little bit unrealistic to ask John Cueva to take on Gemini, because right from the beginning you see the first 2 blows to the head. Jean's off balance and Gemini bonks him from the pedestal. So the competition between the men continues to be a low-scoring one, as Eric continues to lead John Cueva by the score of 16-4 after 6 events. Our final event is up next on the American Gladiators. We call it the Eliminator. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For a unique perspective on the last event of the Gladiator competition, the Eliminator, let's go to our roving reporter, Mike Adamley, shall we? Mike?
Well, wish me luck, Todd. I am wearing this helmet mount camera so the viewer at home can see what the contender sees in the final event called the Eliminator, a race against the clock and some of the most formidable obstacles you could ever imagine. First, the contender will have to push this weighted sphere up the ramp like this. It's not easy. All right, and then deposit in this receptacle here. Failure to do so results in a 5-point penalty. But now the fun really starts. You got to go across this balance beam, which is like a minefield because there's gladiators here with medicine balls. My God, Laser, don't lie to me. All right, lead me, Mikey. Yo, 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 yo. All right, I made it. And then it's across this set of commando lines, which were made for Wilt Chamberlain, not a guy who's 5'9". All right, you made that. And then from here, you got it. The swing for life across this barrier. Drop. And if I'm not sucking gas at this point, I gotta gain my composure and make an important choice. Which lane, which corridor to pick? The right corridor, I'm home scot-free to the finish line. The wrong corridor, and I've got an eccentric headache. Okay, baby, come on. Wait a minute. Now, for a contender to win this, he's got to be quick, he's got to be agile, and he's got to be in a lot better shape than I am. Todd?
Now why don't we go to the starting line to some real athletes in the real competition of the Eliminator. Well, Cheryl Ann Zilich is leading Christine Lacados by the score of 43-7, which means that for Christine to come back in this event, she would need to beat Cheryl by 18 seconds. But right off the bat, Cheryl Ann has a problem with the medicine ball, which will indeed cost her 5 seconds. So maybe it isn't as improbable as it might seem.
Cheryl Ann goes down again. That's another 5-point penalty. Christine trying to keep her balance, and she makes it across. So this could be fairly close. Now it's on the commando lines. Christine working very quickly, loses her balance for a moment, but regains it.
It looks like Cheryl is having the same struggle that you do with the commando lines, Mike, because it's a little bit too high, and she's struggling a little bit to get across.
Remember, Christine needs to win this event by 18 seconds. She has a slight lead, but not a big 18-second lead at this point. But she is the first to reach the swing for life.
Mike, I thought she took a little bit too much time on the road, but as you mentioned, she is in the lead, and it appears that she's going to pick the right corridor. Sure enough, no Gladiator. This will be interesting here at the end to see who Cheryl Ann picks and if she's able to bust through.
Well, Blaze is standing in her way. Does the old spin move and finally gets across the finish line. She did so in a time of 54 seconds, but that won't be good enough to advance into the quarterfinals. Despite the problems that Cheryl Ann Zilic had, she was assessed 2 5-point penalties, but it wasn't enough.
This has been kind of a long day for you competing-wise, but you exacted a little bit of major revenge here in getting a victory. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I just hope I got a good time so that I can be in the running, so we'll find out in a while.
You know, maybe this is a trite question, but I have to ask you anyway. Is it fun? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, I am. It's a lot harder than it looks, though, because these people are big, bad, and beautiful, so the 3 Bs.
Well, you did a good job competing. Congratulations to you. Now, you, on the other hand, now people out there looking at you and saying to themselves, holy cow, look at that girl, but you couldn't even push up that ball up the wall. What was the problem?
I don't know. I just lost it off track. I started sliding on the wood, but the big problem was the rope. The high rope was so high, I couldn't hardly reach it.
Cheryl, you're the winner of the overall competition. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. I had a lot of good fun.
So Cheryl Ann Zilic advances to the quarterfinals by virtue of her victory over Christine.
And as we head to the do-or-die event, the count on the men's is Eric 16 and John 4.
For John Cueva to advance to the quarterfinals in the eliminator, he would need to beat Eric Sutton by 6 seconds. It's kind of an impossible task, but not insurmountable because it's been done before. John, your strategy going down to this final event?
Well, I think if I could get past that beam without falling off, I'll be fine.
Eric, your approach, caution or let it go?
No, that's one of the reasons I get through here is just reckless abandon. I'm just going to go all out. I'm working on trying to get as many points as I can, and I've just got to pay attention to that.
Okay, Eric Sutton, John Cueva, best of luck in the eliminator.
Well, reckless abandon through 6 events has only compiled 20 points between the 2 male competitors, so we're going to see what's going to happen here in the eliminator.
Eric in the red, Jean in the blue. They arrive at the top of the ramp at about the same time. Eric the first to cross the balance beam, loses his balance.
Oh, no! What a shot he took. That was unbelievable, but he climbs right back up. How resilient.
By all rights, he should have been knocked silly, but there he goes across the commando lines.
Doing it well, despite the fact that it was a little bit high for you, Mike. It appears that he's not having too much of a problem with it. John Cueva, on the other hand, has struggled a little bit slow. And there's Eric. He was right. He was going to do it with reckless abandon. That's exactly what he's doing.
Weaves his way through the cones. Only a mysterious finisher could prevent him from winning.
Oh, look at that. Over the top. Over the top for a score. Terrific.
A la Walter Payton at the goal line. John Cueva now just finishing out the run here. But Titan makes sure he'll take back a memory from American Gladiators.
A poetic ending for John Cueva. Just wasn't his day today.
John Cueva, I know how hard you trained and how well prepared you were for these 7 events on American Gladiators, but the effort just wasn't quite good enough.
No, it wasn't. I went up against Titan a few times, and I tell you, he's tough, real tough.
Just your impressions on this whole tournament for you.
It's been great, man. It is tough. It looks easy on TV, but it's not. It really is tough.
You have something to tell your children anyway. Congratulations.
Yeah,
thanks for being with us. Eric Sutton, you told us before the eliminators started that you were going to go with reckless abandon. Almost too reckless. You caught your head on the corner of that platform over there. Are you all right?
Well, thank God I had that lacrosse helmet on. This is the hardest hour I think I've ever been through.
Okay, Eric Sutton, a wild and crazy guy who's bound for the quarterfinals.
A well-earned victory for Eric Sutton, as indeed he did compete with reckless abandon, defeating John Cueva by the score of 40-4. And we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood. Here's a preview of the competition coming up next week.
Next week, the competition continues as 4 new contenders step up to challenge the American Gladiators. Wendy Brown, Eldon Kidd, Christine Coberly, Bruce Stinson. Be with us as they go head-to-head with Nitro, Zap, Gemini, Blaze, and the rest of the American Gladiators.
That's it for this edition of American Gladiators. For Todd Christensen, I'm Mike Adamle. So long, and we'll see you next week.